Hey, what's going on, guys? Carter here. Got another video for you. I am going to show off a new acquisition. And no, this is not a custom Gustavo Federal. This is the Boker version. Boker Plus to be exact. So, as you know, I've been getting into the Bokers. It all started with the titanium Quaken. It was such an awesome knife. I wanted to try out a few others. So this is one of the ones that I decided to pick up. I've always wanted a GTC or Gustavo for the longest time, but really, you know, his stuff is really expensive and his wait list is really long. So it's just not something that I think is going to ever happen. But this gives me an opportunity to at least try one out and see what I think about it, the overall design, and so on and so forth. So this is a fairly accurate version of his Federal folder, his custom version. The only difference I think is the custom version has some inlays in the blade. I'm not sure if they all do or just a few. I know I have seen some with inlays in the blade, but otherwise the overall design is very, very similar. They did a really good job kind of creating a production version of his knife. So what we have here is a titanium frame lock with carbon fiber inlays. One of the things that I was really impressed with is how perfect these inlays are. There is no seams whatsoever in either one of these. The machining tolerances on this is incredible. So this is a Chinese-made knife. It has 440C steel. It features the Mimicked hand-rubbed finish that I love. It looks really, really good. It's perfectly uniform. Just gorgeous. See 440C right there. Very thick blade stock. It kind of has a machined version of his custom checkering that he does. Not quite as fine. Not even close to being as fine as what he does on his real knife, but they did kind of add that here. Works good as jimping. It's a flipper. As you can tell, it flips really, really good. It's on bearings. Overall, the quality is pretty good. This does have very early lockup, which is pretty unusual for these Boker collaboration pieces, the Chinese ones. Usually their lockup is a little bit later, but this one has quite early lockup. It does have the radiused tang you can see right there. You can see where the contact is being made. Pretty decent contact area, but it does have that radiused tang. So we'll see how that holds up over time. The other thing that this duplicates is Gustavo's hidden clip. You can see right here the pocket clip is actually flush on the frame. To pop it out, you squeeze like that. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you squeeze like that to put it in your pants, and it clips it right there. You know, right now I'm going to say I'm not a fan of that. We'll see if that changes. I'm really struggling getting it to work. If anybody has any tips or tricks on how to do it, please let me know. Particularly getting it out. I'm getting better at putting it in. No, this is not a sexual reference, but I am getting better at putting this in my pocket. But still, I mean, you can see it's pretty stiff to move it over. And even if you move it all the way over, you're not getting a ton of clearance. So you have to get it just right to get it over the lip of your pocket seam. And even, you know, as I'm getting better, I'm finding myself having to double check it to make sure it's on there. But getting it out, I really struggle. You can see that little lip where it's milled in there. That just clips onto my seam, and I cannot get this thing out. I try grabbing it and just pulling it straight up. You kind of got these nice, milled area with jimping there, but it just will not come out. And I try to squeeze this over, but I can't. I don't know. It's kind of awkward trying to move it over. I wish this thing had just a regular clip on it. I do. I mean, as cool as this design innovation is, I just don't see how you would ever get good enough at using it to make it worth the effort. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe I'll get really good at it, and I'll look back at this video and say, you know, what was I thinking? But if you have any tips or tricks on how to do that easier, putting it in your pocket, getting it out of your pocket, let me know, because I would love to make it easier. Really quite smooth. Still needs some breaking in. I don't plan on taking this one apart. The screws, I assume, are probably non-heat treated like most of the Boker Chinese knives, but they look like they're full depth, so they're not super shallow like on the dark hollow. So as long as you're careful and you don't just, you know, crank down on them, you'll probably be okay with these screws not stripping out too quickly on you. Still haven't heard back from Boker, by the way, on my dark hollow screws. Sent them an email, but haven't gotten back to me. But anyway, so yeah, here's a quick look, or medium length look, at the Boker Federal Flipper. Pretty cool knife, I gotta say. Out of the Boker collaborations I've dealt with recently, the Monero, the Quaken, and the dark hollow, and I'm not going to say Onzo. It's been a long time since I've had one of his Boker collaborations. But out of those ones, the Quaken takes the cake as the best, and I would say this one is next in line. And then probably the Monero, and then the dark hollow would be last. Just in terms of you know, the better knife, better quality, things like that. This one, this video's going long. Sorry guys. This one, the finish, the fit and finish on this is nice. Very, very nice. Everything is tight. Detent is perfect. Centering is just about perfect. Flips like a demon. Very impressed. Very impressed. Alright guys, I'm out of here. See you later.